So far, it's following the script. It's been a long time since they announced that there were going to be charges brought against the prime minister, some 16 months. And everybody has had time to review their role in the drama, what they're going to say, what they don't want said by others, and what's going to happen. The prime minister got permission to leave the courtroom after the prosecutor delivered the opening statement. He didn't really want to be there. It's not good theater. That's not the kind of theater he wants. But it went on without him, and the charges that began to be presented in this evidentiary stage followed the script again exactly. The first dynamite witness of the state was talking about the favors that the prime minister would offer in return for positive media coverage. Don't forget that Prime Minister Netanyahu is a believer that all media hates him. So for him to have the incentive to quash some of that was very important to him.
Yeah. How long is this likely to go on? How hard is it going to hit him? And even if he is found guilty, will it impact his ability to continue to govern?
Well, that's the big question in the country. There's a large section of the country that has been demonstrating every Saturday night for some 38 or 39 weeks. There have been massive demonstrations trying to urge the prime minister to leave office. Yet 4 election cycles have come and gone in less than 2 years, and the corruption charges really don't seem to have all that much impact, or at least not the kind of impact one would think would happen in such a situation. The prime minister, those who are close to him say, is convinced that he could actually get out of this, that if he handles the electoral segment right and he is reelected again or reappointed again, selected again, then he could actually legislate himself into some kind of immunity. And that's becoming a bit of a sticky wicket for him, but he's pursuing it anyhow.
Yeah, indeed. The president is trying to work out, as you point out, after this fourth election, still no clear outcome, who will be best to form a coalition government. Is that becoming any clearer?
Oh, absolutely not. Not even close. The president today began meeting with the heads of the different parties. Don't forget, in Israel, you don't vote for a person, you vote for a party. So the heads of the parties have to get together to decide whether or not they can entrust 61 or more seats in the 120-person parliament to run the country. So far, there's absolutely no path that anybody's been able to discern that would lead the leading parties to the ability to put together a government. So really, at this moment, it still looks like election number 5 is in the offing.
Oh, it's exhausting to even think about. But, of course, Netanyahu is pushing for what he calls a stable right-wing government. The man he was supposed to share power with, Benny Gantz, has said this would be a disaster for Israel. Why does he think that's the case?
Because he's a politician running for the highest office in the country.
Touché.
The definition of a stable government means I don't have to share the power with anybody and push him out. So I'm stable and I'm happy, and the country can continue as I want it to.
But would a right-wing government, particularly with the change of administration in the US, necessarily bring stability, Michael?
Well, again, it depends on how one defines stability. Not to sound too Clinton-esque, but the stability is going to come when the government has more than the 61 seats necessary to squeak by, when they can come up with 68, maybe 8, maybe 70, maybe 72, 73 seats, and all of the different voices of the nation can at least come together on a working ability rather than just the kind of games playing that most people are accusing them of.
Yeah. And so your tip is for another election?
It certainly looks that way. It's very hard to see something super dramatic come about that somebody is going to cave in. All of these, it's like don't forget, every Israeli is taken into the army when they're 18. As they form clubs and they form the mentality that they do as a group, they work as a group, and they have loyalties as a group. So to break into these kind of niches, even in the electoral world, is very, very difficult.
As it's proving. Good to talk. Thanks so much.
Always a pleasure, Bev.
Cheers, Michael.